This week on Inside Boulder News. Following recent decisions from the White House, the city of Boulder joins others in reaffirming a commitment to meaningful climate action. After months of construction, a new underpass gives pedestrians an easier and safer commute. And Boulder Fire prepares for swift water season. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your chance to share your stories, get involved, and keep up to date on all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. In wake of the United States' decision to leave the Paris Climate Agreement, thousands of cities and businesses across the country in the past week have vowed to uphold the goals in the Paris Accord. Cities in Colorado like Aspen and Denver were among that list, and of course, so is the city of Boulder.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
Donald Trump's controversial decision to leave the Paris Climate Accord puts the United States alongside Syria and Nicaragua in the list of the only countries that aren't in this global agreement. But what is the Paris Climate Agreement, and what makes this decision so controversial?
So we're getting out.
The Paris Agreement was a global commitment of a number of countries in the world that were getting together and making a coordinated commitment to try and combat climate change.
That worldwide commitment included a goal that many scientists say is necessary.
The United States committed to reducing its global greenhouse gas emissions 80% by the year 2050.
For those who were in favor of this commitment, the president's decision came out to be disheartening.
It was extremely disappointing action for cities, businesses, and universities like the city of Boulder that really prioritize global climate change and the fight against it.
That's why the city of Boulder is joining other partners to say, we are still in.
And so it was very important for the city of Boulder and a number of other cities to stand up and make it clear to our global partners that we are still committed to upholding and honoring those goals and intensifying our efforts to achieve them.
On Monday, more than 200 mayors had already signed on to this agreement, executed by cities and organizations across the U.S. An agreement in which Mayor Suzanne Jones was included.
To honor and uphold the Paris Climate Agreement goals.
And some are finding comfort by giving the issue more perspective. The nonprofit organization Sierra Club says the U.S. could meet 60% of its Paris commitments just by joint efforts by cities, states, and businesses alone.
Boulder is going to stay a leader in climate action because of the new and innovative efforts that we're piloting and trying out at the city every day.
Innovative efforts that will help reach and could exceed the international goals.
Our main climate commitment goal is that we're committed to reducing the city's greenhouse gas emissions 80% by 2050 compared to a 2005 baseline. And another important goal that's part of our climate commitment is to achieve 100% clean renewable electricity supply by the year 2030.
For more information about the city's climate goals, please visit boulderclimate.com. With the winter months behind us and summer days coming into focus, many head out to creeks and rivers to cool down. But it's important to take precautions and be safe when in the water. This week, the Boulder Fire Department held its yearly swift water training to prepare for these type of emergencies. It's summertime in Boulder, and creeks are starting to crowd with people cooling off. Unfortunately, people sometimes underestimate the power of water and find themselves in dangerous situations.
The most common cause is recreation. Either people, playing by the creek, tubing, and they just get in a little bit deeper than they should have.
That is why the Boulder Fire Department headed out to Boulder Creek this week to brush up on their skills.
Water safety is very important in the city of Boulder because, of course, we have Boulder Creek and we have multiple other waterways that flow through the city.
Firefighters say they respond to about 5 to 6 water-related incidents each summer, with one already this season.
If you're going to use the creek for recreation, it would be very important to have adequate equipment. So make sure that you have a good tube, make sure that you know how to swim.
And if you don't know how to swim, it is recommended to take swimming lessons in places such as the rec center or avoid the risk.
The best way to prevent these accidents from happening is knowing your limits. If you're not a very strong swimmer, then it's probably a good idea to stay away from the water.
Should you find yourself in a dangerous situation, it's vital to remember that
The slowest moving water is closest to the shore. So if you do get into a swift water situation where you've lost control, try your hardest to get to the shore by either swimming or just by pointing your head to the direction of the shore with your feet downstream.
Firefighters say that by doing this technique, the stream will get you closer to the shore, where you'll be more likely to be able to gain traction or be within reach of others on shore. It's one of the biggest crossing areas for students to access the CU Boulder campus, and for residents wanting to get to businesses. A brand new underpass will make this crossing area more accessible. Next week, the City of Boulder will celebrate what will be its 80th underpass opening. Located near Baseline Road and Broadway, this new pedestrian underpass will save you time and keep people safe. Stay tuned for an upcoming Inside Boulder news as we bring you coverage of the celebration.
We'd love the community to come and visit and celebrate with us. The Baseline Underpass Project celebration is on Thursday, June 15th from noon to 1 on the south side of the underpass.
The 4th annual Ironman Boulder Triathlon will take place this weekend. With more than 2,000 athletes participating this year, the community is invited to come out and watch. The triathlon will include a 2.4-mile swim up in the Boulder Reservoir, a 112-mile bike ride, and a 26.2-mile run along the Boulder Creek Path. The finish line will be at 13th and Arapahoe in downtown Boulder. This triathlon offers 40 qualifying slots for the Ironman World Championship, which will be held in Hawaii later this year. Keep in mind that roads and some favorite Boulder attractions will be closed for the event, including the Boulder Reservoir. For more information on how to get around the city this weekend, visit ironman.com/boulder and select Spectator Guide for more information. And before we go, take a look at this. Over the weekend, our feathery friends over at the Boulder Reservoir welcomed a new addition to their bird family. The Osprey Cam has been keeping track of the osprey's nesting season and has followed this family's nest journey. The first egg hatched on June 4th, and the second egg is expected to hatch soon. You can keep up with the osprey by going to the website seen on screen. Thank you so much for watching us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe.